Our food system needs to be fixed. We need to think differently as a society about how we source our food. Let me give you a quick synopsis on where we were versus where we are now. In late 2018, we founded Legends Hall. Our focus was on wholesale clients like restaurants and small independent grocers. We took over an existing brand and built on it with our chef-driven focus, high quality, exceptional service, and competitive pricing. We always had plans to build home grocery delivery service, with a dream of including produce from local farms, meal kits from select restaurants, fresh baked bread from our friends' bakeries, and so much more. We were in no rush. Then COVID-19 happened. I'm proud to say we've adapted. We pushed the timeline forward on our project, and I'm now part of a home grocery company called Legends Grocery Co. When we were tasked with providing food for people who couldn't access it elsewhere due to the pandemic, it really opened our eyes on how fragile our food systems are and how important it is to us to support the community the best we can. During the first few months of the pandemic, I was talking to farmers that had fields full of produce that they were worried would spoil because of no restaurant business. On the other hand, the news was reporting massive shortages in grocery chains just a few kilometers away. We knew we needed to jump in and figure this out, not only for the farmers, but for our friends and families across the province who needed another link in the supply chain. Someone to help bridge that gap from local farms and suppliers to literally their front door. It is estimated that our current food systems are responsible for roughly 50% of the greenhouse gas emissions. It's also been noted that the average plate of food in Canada has traveled over 3,000 kilometers to get to you. Meat is generally local, but produce in Canada is from all over the world. Produce such as grapes and bananas might have traveled over 11,000 kilometers before they land on your plate and your kitchen counter. If this isn't a sign that our food system and how we choose to eat is broken, I don't know what is. This system needs to be fixed. We all need to think differently as a society. Thinking strategically outside the box and with our community in mind, we need to always be consciously sourcing our products. Each item we supply is vetted to ensure it has minimal impact on our planet before we stock and sell it. This is constantly evolving and always adapting as the seasons change. Our company isn't the most carbon neutral company in the world by any means. We still use cardboard and we still sell bananas and avocados. This is due to the fact that these are the top 2 selling grocery items in any produce department. And if we don't supply these for our customers, they will still make that extra trip to the store. But we are trying day by day, making the changes we see align with our goals to source appropriately and thoughtfully. For example, we recently switched our banana supplier because we discovered someone else was doing things better. This new organic company ships their bananas to Canada by sea as opposed to by truck. This drastically reduces the carbon footprint that they produce. They also work directly with the farmers producing these bananas, so they are getting the fair trade products that they need. To me, this is pretty cool, and the decision was a no-brainer. The biggest issue we are battling is changing the habits of the consumer by examining the wants versus the needs. Nobody needs to be eating avocados in Newfoundland or Alaska. This is a new way of thinking. 80 years ago, this was not an option. How do we think like our grandparents did and eat what we have and what is available again? Granted, my grandparents are from Newfoundland, and I'm sure they were sick of potatoes come spring. I truly believe that if more people change their eating habits to eat with the seasons, opposed to what they want and when they want, we can curate a more sustainable offering for the planet and help this earth. The bonus that a lot of people don't realize also is an organic tomato from a small farm in the Okanagan in the middle of summer actually tastes like a tomato. And this tomato is the best tomato you've ever had. The salad that's grown 5 kilometers from my warehouse is the best salad you will ever have. And it goes even better with a salad made from dressing using local cold press oils, honey, and vinegar. I challenge anyone to tell me a head of romaine that's taken a 6,000 kilometer trip to reach your plate would beat this. Our apple farmer, Kevin Clipperson from Clipper Organics, He sells almost everything to restaurants and farmers markets. So obviously he was hit the hardest by COVID-19 and a slowdown in restaurants and very limited attendance at farmers markets. These guys grow some of the nicest fruits and vegetables in British Columbia, yet somehow he was worried about all of his harvest going to waste. This is wrong. Why are we continuing to have apples in our grocers from the other side of the world when local farmers can supply them? The apple from the Silcomean Valley actually tastes like an apple, and when we receive it, it had only traveled 300 kilometers and was on the tree the day before. When you get an apple from South America, it was picked weeks or months ago, unripe, and traveled in refrigerated vehicles for multiple days across multiple states and countries and produced a large amount of carbon emissions. When we lay it out this simple, it only makes sense that we should be eating local and supporting what is grown in our backyard. Is the additional $1 or $2 of savings worth this severe damage to our planet? Our grocery delivery system is far from perfect. If you ask me if I think it is better for 60 people to drive to 2 grocery stores a week opposed to 1 driver in one of our vans supplying and filling the weekly needs of 60 families, I have to believe that carpooled groceries are a better choice. At our company, we are using a routing software to limit certain neighborhoods to certain days so we can be as efficient as possible with our delivery times and, more importantly, the amount of time a vehicle is spent on the road. We improve this weekly also. 4 months ago, 50 deliveries would take my driver 10 hours. With our focus on being more efficient, that driver can now do 50 deliveries in under 6 hours. But this is only one piece of the equation. Where our food comes from, how it is grown, what type of packaging is used, and how do we eliminate excess packaging, all factors into this crazy puzzle. I see a future as well where all of our groceries are delivered in electric vehicles with 0 cardboard or plastic. We just need the economics to work. When the cost works for us to move this way, we will be the first on board to a scalable green future. Each day we try to get better. The key points to society we need to improve on to become better is everyone needs to eat more local, eat with the seasons, support your local restaurants that have a key focus on supporting community agriculture, reduce your grocery shopping footprint, whether this is by ordering online or walking to your grocery store with reusable bags, and resist using conventional and large-scale farming production and focus more on local and organic. At this point in our journey, quarterly results are not our priority. We are looking at how we can set up our business to support the community as best we can and minimize our carbon footprint. How can we get better, and how can we encourage other companies to think more sustainable? It is our responsibility when providing food to people. In order for our local food systems to be fixed, everyone needs to buy in. It starts with you and me. Let's make a change.